Hey yo gamers, what's up everyone? Nukasub here. We are back with another video. So in this video we are talking about this new Black Myth Wukong game which is coming up to the release this month, and they have released a benchmark tool, which is Black Myth Wukong Benchmark Tool, which just need to have download. It's almost about the 8 GBs of storage you need, and it has a 1 to 3 minutes of a cinematic which tests your graphics ability to render these all graphics on a real time, while they will suggest it also has all these settings what you need to put it on, and what are the all specifications you need to put into the test to these benchmarks. So without any wasting any time, let's start. So the benchmark settings we are going to set in my laptop, which is currently 4070 RTX and 2560 into 1600 resolutions with the borderless display mode, and i9 13th gen HX and latest graphics card driver, which is for the Black Myth Wukong latestly, which is 560.81, and for the AMD I will have the informations like it has a 24.71 WHQL, which is a previous month's release, so there is no latest graphics card for the AMD currently right now. So the average FPS with this graphics quality, which is set to the cinematic, and we set the motion blur off, ray tracing off, and DLSS on with the quality settings of the DLSS. So with the frame generation on, so 53 FPS for the average, maximum it goes to 61, and the lowest will go to the 49. So the overall the 8 GB VRAM is not occupying all at all, while it's taking only the 5.2 GBs, while I have to configure and all, so it will consume more. So if there's more experiment needs to be done in the 4070 GPU, while you have to set all these graphics renderings and to the GPU, while I have the mux switch. So I think I didn't switch on the mux switch, so I will switch on the mux switch in the next video, and I will check it. While moving to the next is the quality settings on and the VSync on. So it has 53 FPS as well and maximum 61 FPS, while keeping all these settings is the same. Cinematics, RAM 16, resolution same, super resolutions is all about the quality, performance, and the balanced. These are the settings for the DLSS, while frame generation is on. So moving to the next setting is the very high settings with the quality, DLSS, and frame generation on. We are getting 60 FPS, 69 maximum, and minimum is 20, while lowest fifth will be the 55 FPS. So it's a kind of a high demanding graphics card game. I don't know what's the graphics card will be optimal for this game to run more than 60 FPS on the highest possible settings. So moving to the next settings is the very high settings, and we put on this DLSS to balance to increase more FPS while keeping all these configurations as same. So we have a few spikes in the average FPS, which is 65. Previously it was just hitting the 60. The maximum FPS will I get from these settings is the 74, where the few parts of this cinematic I will get this highest peak of this FPS, while the every demanding areas like foliage, forest, water, fog, everything including in that scene, it will be reduced to 35 somewhere, and it comes back to 60, while maintaining overall 60 FPS because I have made this vertical syncs on. So moving, we have set these configurations to performance. So it has a pretty good average FPS comes out from this, which is 69 FPS. Maximum is 82, lowest will be 63, and minimum goes to 40, which I highly didn't noticeable at all. So while keeping up the super resolution 54, which is balanced, and everything's configuration will be same. And we have said moves to the higher setting. This previously it was a very high with the performance, and now is high with the quality settings. So keeping up everything's preset high, and we got the 84 FPS, while maximum is 96, minimum 42, and lowest 78. while it's consuming only the 5 GBs of VRAM. So I am kind of surprised that I have a 8 GBs of graphics card for the 70 laptop GPU, but it's still occupying the 5 GB. I think I need to switch on the mux. So I think I have to set everything to the graphics card, so that I will squeeze out every performance from this graphics card. So the next I have set it to the balance, and I got the 92 average FPS, while maximum is 105, minimum will be the 48 FPS, while lowest will be the 85, while all the configurations is the same. And the same high settings with the performance DLSS, I got the 101 FPS, maximum 117, and minimum is 48. Lowest will be the 93, which I think there is no compromisations in the graphics quality or fidelity in the game, but there will be a less foliage and fog and particle effects, which doesn't this cinematic looks. I would suggest that this should in this sequence of the benchmark there should be some sort of fighting sequences where the 2 or 3 characters are fighting in a one scene with the heavy particle effects, so that it will more put stress on the graphics card. So I was missing something, because this is the overall, but I want to test that as well, because that has this kind of a fighting scenes, because the too much people rendering on the demanding environment and they are fighting with their particle effects. So this will highly put the graphics on a stress test. So I think in future it comes up, but I don't think so, because the game is already on the brink of a release. So probably we will just test on a game on hand. So moving to the medium settings, I keep these settings on the balance, and I got the 98 FPS and maximum 110, while everything is on medium. Frame generation on, 4.9 GB VRAM has been used, and if I just set to the highest settings, which is 98, and balanced will be in a medium settings will be 106, while maximum is 119, 4.8 GB VRAMs has been used. So if I switch to the performance, then it will set to the 115 in medium settings. Super resolution is 54, is where there is a performance settings is there. So in a medium, so overall everything will be set to the medium. 4.8 GB VRAM has been used, and we move to the lowest quality. So I got the 116, maximum 125, minimum 53, 4.5 gigs of VRAM has been using in it, and I have set this to 70 super resolution DLSS on. So I got this 116, but there is a quite bit of glitchy, not that glitchy, but there is a rendering issues, because somewhere in the scenes the shadows will render just getting close to that object on or to these the field of view, where these the far away objects are creating in some fraction of seconds it takes time to cast a shadow or soft shadow. You can be able to see that as well, while these textures quality and fidelity is being smooth around anti-aliasings and all. So I set to the balance, I got the 119, while keeping this quality is same, which is you can't see the details on every objects and the enemies and all, but still is a good point to test this out. So we kept this on a 61, which is balance, and we set to the 54, which is performance. I got the 120 FPS, maximum 47, and lowest 50 is 119, minimum is 52, while VRAM has been used 4.3 gigs of VRAM, and everything is performance frame generation on. So if I experimenting on my laptop, which is I turn off the frame generations, and I got cinematic settings, graphics preset with the quality DLSS. I got the 33 FPS, which is surprising, and the maximum is 39. And I have used the very high settings with no frame generation. I got the 38 FPS, and average is around. And I have used the high with no frame generation, which is 61 FPS and 69 maximum, while 4.4 gigs of VRAM is using. And the medium no frame generation is 76, maximum 86, and with 67. And the lowest with no frame generations I got 101 FPS, while maximum 116. Minimum is 17, and lowest 5th is with 52, while 4 gigs of VRAM is using. So kind of I can test all around with DL frame generation on and off, but there is a no frame generations, and I can't switch off the DLSS as well because this game needs a DLSS quality. The RTX on I haven't tested at all. I will test in another video because a lot of stress on my graphics card currently going on because of the weather is kind of a lot of heated around, so I won't test it, and I don't have that coolant for this laptop as well, so I tested without coolant. So these are kind of a configurations I've tested around, and I think my laptop is good to go with this game. And I will also find out these all configurations in which, so minimum it needs a GTX 1060 gigs, an AMD RX 580 8GB of graphics card, i5 8th gen and a Ryzen 5 1st gen. You need almost 16 gigs of RAM. You always needed in it. SSD is highly recommended. While DLSS FSR and XeXS were tested and it will be enabled, you can't switch off this thing. And recommended graphics settings or rigs specifications of your computer you need is RTX 2060 and RX 5700 XT and Intel Arc A750, which almost needs a DirectX 12 version, while SSD is recommended for DLSS, FSR and XeSS. So these are currently requirement for this game, which is needed to be play if you won't compromise the graphics card with this all. So currently this also has the same configurations in the main game as well. So I think that's it for my side. I'll bring back the new videos with the new updates and deals in the games, related games or upcoming games and all. So till then, keep gaming and stay healthy. Nutkaso, peace out here.
Yeah, boy.